WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jerome and Tanner. Let's do it. Jerome and Tanner.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast, kicking off year 8. Here with you is Jerome and Tanner. What's up, bud?
Oh, man, doing great. Playoff hockey, baby. Let's go.
Playoff hockey is here.
I guess I could be doing better, but playoff hockey is good.
Yeah,
I
want
some teams to be winning more than they are, and some teams to be losing more than they are. But it is what it is.
And the Blackhawks could be in there as well.
Yes, but we're patient.
Yeah, it's the patience just getting a little thin though right now, just because I've been seeing a lot of accounts being like, I miss player XYZ and their playoff hockey, and they show highlights of them with the Blackhawks just dominating during the Stanley Cup era, and I'm just like, oh, sad. Last one I saw was Johnny Oduya. And just there's one of the more underrated defensive prospects the Hawks had. Not prospects, just Hawks defensemen.
One of the most underrated trades that the Hawks made to 100%. Just complete that back end.
Yeah, but like you said, we're patient. We can wait. Things are looking good. Things are getting exciting, and enjoy it now, hockey fans outside of Chicago, because once we're back in it, I don't think this team's going to be leaving anytime soon. It's going to be in your face all over again.
We're just going to be coming in your face over and over and over and over.
Clip it. But what I will tell you, who will not be there and sticking around and coming in your face for the Blackhawks is David Carle. That's not entirely true. It's just not as of right now. As of right now, well, you kind of hope that it is the case. You know what I mean? You kind of hope that the next guy is the guy and he's going to be there for a while. But Friday night, I think leading to Saturday morning, Elliot Friedman tweeted out that David Carle had withdrew his name from consideration for the Chicago Blackhawks head coaching job. Then Friedman went back into it a little bit more on the 32 Thoughts podcast, saying that it sounds like he is going to go back to Denver, that the Hawks threw everything at him, and that it just seems like it's one of those things where the combination of the situation he has out there, he's got a young family that just had another kid, so it's not the right time to uproot them. And when you really think about it, the control and power he has running the Denver program, he will never have that in the NHL, at least not for a long time.
And then the other thing you got to think about too is job stability. It's he's already got a really good thing going, which is another reason to keep his family there. When you look at some coaches that when it's their first time into the NHL, it doesn't typically work out,
right? At
least for not a long term. So kind of, picking up, moving to somewhere that you might be out of in 2 to 3 years because nothing's guaranteed. It's all right, maybe we stay still, be the coach that can keep leading Denver to national championships, or at least Final Four and everything like that. And then, regroup after a bit. He's only 36 years old.
He's very young. And then looking into it a little bit more, he's only signed through the 26-27 season. So theoretically, he might just be coaching out his contract that he currently has, and will probably potentially reevaluate the following year, once that season ends, or, maybe he's got a team that he wants to make that jump for, and they're just not looking for a coach right now.
Tampa.
But it sounds like that's the thing, though. When I was kind of looking for Friedman when he was talking about it sounds like he's going back to Denver. I never have actually saw anything confirming that. I never there's still people saying New York might make a run at him, or all this kind of other teams that could potentially make a run at him. Like listening to the power play on Sirius XM radio on the way home from work today, they were talking about that, and they were asking about coaching situations, and they kept saying, "Oh yeah, Dave Carle," and it's like, okay, well, so is it just the Hawks he doesn't want to coach for, or is it just not? Is it the NHL in general?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It really. I was trying to look it up real quick, but like it does just say that he appears to have removed from one NHL team from a wide-ranging sweepstakes. So I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Staying in Denver. Is he staying in Denver? What is this? I don't know. All right. Anyway, so now the Hawks head coaching, search moves on elsewhere.
And yeah, that's what I was gonna. That's the next thing on my list here. Is so what's next?
Tocchet, Mike Sullivan. Both of those gonna be difficult.
So it's no surprise. I've been saying Mike Sullivan would be my choice since before he was even considered to be leaving Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we already knew.
Yeah, he was leaving. But it's going to be interesting to see because he's got connections in Boston. That's where he started his head coaching career. Is McAvoy his son-in-law?
Yeah.
Okay, his son-in-law plays for them. And then New York is also making a huge push. Apparently, Chris Drury is making Sullivan his number one choice, or main target for the Rangers. And if I was anybody outside of the Rangers organization, I'd be like, I'm going the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Sullivan is probably going to end up in one of those two spots.
Yeah, and it's tough because when you look at the teams on paper on who's ready to compete sooner than later, it's hard to argue that the two teams that literally just made the playoffs last season wouldn't be like in a better position to make the playoffs. But I'm just saying, like, who's got the brighter future? Probably the Blackhawks by far.
See, so that's an interesting take too, with a way to look at it. It's like, what kind of team would he want?
Mm-hmm.
Where is he looking for long term? Gonna have to grind it out a couple of years to really like develop his style into a team.
Yeah.
If he's down for that, Chicago would be the great option because it's going to be kind of like Pittsburgh for him, where he's like, once he gets his core there, it's just going to be continuously just building up and moving on. But if is he looking for like more quick, immediate success?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could argue Boston is that. I mean, they did finish the year really shitty, but you're talking about a team that had no McAvoy for the rest of the season. They were, up until the trade deadline, they were still fighting for a playoff spot, and I even think they were still in fighting for a playoff spot up until like the last month.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. They dropped off hard because they were literally fourth worst team in the league.
Correct. Yeah,
which is crazy. The fall off.
But you get a healthy McAvoy out there. You get a new coach in there with the new philosophy and all that, and you maybe add another piece or two. I mean, that team can be competing again pretty quickly.
You're also adding a possible 4th overall pick too.
Yeah,
which could end up being like one of those top 4 guys, right? Like Porter Martone, James Higgins, like Michael Misa. Hopefully not, but
watch Boston fucking get first.
I could see it.
They're gonna get first, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that's how everybody felt when the Hawks got."
Yeah, I guess. As long as the Hawks stay at 2, I'd be fine.
Yeah.
So I don't really care.
But so that's gonna be interesting. And then you got Rick Tocchet, who it was announced yesterday or 2 days ago now that he was not going to be returning to Vancouver. They made him an offer. And he pretty much made him an aggressive offer to keep him there. And he was just like, peace, I'm out.
It's like, this shit show is not for me.
Dude, it's so funny watching this. Like, people talk about, again, to make this about the Blackhawks, people talk about the Hawks being a poverty franchise and, like, a shit show. And it's like, how do you watch what's going on, like, in Vancouver and, like, not be like, oh, no, same situation, like, they're worse, or the same situation. Like, their president of hockey operations is doing his media press conference at the end of the year, pretty much saying, yeah, either Quinn's going to play with us and we're going to get the Hughes brothers, or he's going to New Jersey to play with his brothers. Like, what the fuck?
And once we lost Hockett, I called Quinn and he hasn't called me back.
Which is weird because he usually picks up within 30 minutes or something.
Yeah,
or like he usually calls me right back.
He either picks up or calls me right back within 30 minutes.
It's just like, what the fuck is going on out there?
So funny.
You got No Besser, and then you got Demko coming up, and he's probably like, okay, what the fuck? And it's just like, I don't know. That team's gonna go.
JT Miller gets shipped out because of like
Elias Pettersson.
Yeah,
stop baby bitch.
I mean, that team goes from having 6 All-Stars last year, and like 1 win away from moving on in the playoffs against Edmonton, right? Was it 7 games?
I believe so.
To a complete collapse this year, like unable to keep Demko healthy, can't keep the team happy. Everything's all messed up. Somehow still almost pushed for a playoff spot a majority of the season. But it's crazy to me because it's like the year before last year, it was more of the same. Ever since COVID, like they've been a very weird team that's just missed the playoffs in very weird ways.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember like during like the shortened season, like they had a bunch of games skipped because they had too many COVID players, and then they played like 16 games in 22 days because they had to make up all the games. Yeah. And
then the shortened year or whatever, they were still playing regular season games, even though it didn't matter. And like playoff games were going on, and Vancouver is still playing games, like regular season games, because they had to like get them caught up.
Yeah, dude. It's just been a weird situation in Vancouver for the last like 5 years.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. So Todd gets out there, and immediately he gets linked to Philly, Pittsburgh. Both teams he's played for. I've heard some rumors about potentially Seattle.
Oh, really?
A connection to Seattle there, which would just be hilarious.
At least Seattle isn't very far for him if he's
exactly. So it's just a ferry ride away.
Yeah.
And then the new rumor going around is that the latest victim to the hot seat is John Cooper in Tampa Bay.
Right.
So if Tampa Bay gets knocked out in the first round, Cooper may decide to leave or just get fired or decide to part ways or whatever, because he's got 1 more year on his current contract. But the thing is, he's very good friends with Utah Hockey Club owner. Was it Ryan Smith?
Yeah.
So
Edmonton Oilers legend Ryan Smith.
Yeah.
just
But could you imagine if Cooper gets fired and the Hawks still haven't found their guy, and you're just like, here's like $6 million. Come on in.
Here's $13.5 million. Come on in.
Cooper fits a lot of the stuff that the Hawks would look for. He's got.
I'm telling you, man, it happened in my EA NHL. It's very possible.
He started with the Syracuse Crunch, I believe, or whoever the Tampa Bay AHL team was at the time.
It probably was.
Delmer Norfolk. I can't remember which one it was, but
okay.
So he's got AHL coaching experience, so developmental experience. Then he got brought up to Tampa, and she's seen success there. So you got the development aspect of it, you got the NHL success aspect of it. It's 1000%, fairy tale NHL 25, hoping, thinking, wishing, praying situation, but.
Yeah,
John Cooper to Chicago market.
I would love this. I would love that. But I feel like for him, you get the coach Connor Bedard, one of the best young stars in the league, shape this team into the way that you want it to be. You get some pretty great veterans. It's like, why not, dude? It was the Norfolk Admirals, and then it just turned into the Syracuse Crunch when he spent time there and then hired mid-season to be the head coach as the Lightning.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you were right. It was the Syracuse Crunch, though.
So I got the same team, so whatever.
That's so crazy, dude. I had no idea. All right, here's his head coaching route. He coaches in Michigan at like a high school, USHS Michigan. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It doesn't expand on that right now. I'm too lazy. And then he coaches in the NAL, goes to the CSHL for the Metro Jets. Then he coaches for Honey Baked, the 18U team. Yeah, dude. He was also only an assistant coach in the NAL. And then he goes back to the NAL and coaches for Texarkana, moves to the St. Louis Bandits, then gets bumped to the USHL or goes to the USHL, coaches the Green Bay Gamblers, and then makes his way to the AHL and then NHL.
Good for him.
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit. What a path. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So every time you talk to a high school hockey coach and you say, what are you doing this for? You're not going to go pro or anything like that as a coach, and just be like, yeah, John Cooper, look him up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, this is gotta be Michigan high school. That's so crazy.
That's amazing.
Can you imagine being like at a high school in Michigan and then be like, my coach used to be John Cooper for one season? It's like, what the fuck, dude? Are you serious?
So those are the big three right now. I was just kind of looking up and see if there's been any teams or coaches connected to the Blackhawks, and Charlie
Roumeliotis.
There you go. Has a list of 15 potential like targets for the Hawks.
Oh,
and you got your usual names we just talked about: Mike Sullivan, Rick Tocchet. Then he's got Bruce Boudreau.
Bruce, there it is.
Then I think he's just Googled like any coaches with NHL experience that not have a coach right now, because he's got Claude Julien.
Yeah.
David Quinn,
who would just I don't think he coached this season, but he coached last year for San Jose.
He spent last season as an assistant under Sullivan in Pittsburgh.
Okay. Oh, he was an assistant last year?
Yeah, with the Penguins.
Wait, what? 23-24, it says he was the San Jose head coach. You're talking about this season that just happened?
Yes.
Okay, it's so confusing to me when you said last season.
Well, I mean,
I still consider it this season because it's still the playoffs.
Hawk season's over, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I guess.
Once the Hawks stop playing, the season's over, dude. Fucking get over it, man.
On to the next one. Let's go.
Jay Woodcroft. Which I kind of was thinking about that too. I feel like he was a pretty decent coach.
I mean, all he had to do, it's one of those things where it's like all he had to do was coach Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. I think you'll do okay. Like they did all right.
Yeah, and Dave Hackstall.
Yeah.
Pascal Vincent.
So that's interesting though for Dave Hackstall, because like didn't he get fired from Seattle because the players were like, we can't fucking play for this guy?
Allegedly.
Okay.
So it got leaked. Somebody reported it. That's how it went down, and then players came out and said that wasn't true, and it's just like one of those like he said she said situations where chances are the players did say, yeah, no, fuck this guy, but you got to say allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, they did make the playoffs in their second season, so that's kind of impressive. Yeah, and they went to the second round after beating fucking Colorado, which is crazy. The year after they won the cup.
Yeah. He's also got Pascal Vincent, who briefly coached Columbus during the 23-24 season.
Yeah, isn't he like a assistant or something in Ottawa?
I'm not sure. He didn't do his homework very well, where he didn't write down where they currently are. All these guys. Brad Shaw, who filled in for Philly after they fired Torts.
Okay.
And then
like you mean at the end of this season? Come on, I'm trying to find this guy. It said that he was on Laval Rockets. Fucking stupid.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's gonna be one of those things that I feel like it's gonna be okay. Is Sullivan still there? No. Okay. Is Tocchet there? No. Is Lavallette there? No. Okay. I still like your idea of Gallant.
Yeah. He spends 2 to 3 years wherever he is, and that team does well, and then the front office is like, okay, we've had enough.
Okay, you got to find your own way home.
Yeah, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
But yeah, I mean, at this point, honestly, I don't know what direction they could go or what they're thinking, because I truly do think it was Carle or bust. So it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be one of those things. Like, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, who they're interviewing when it gets like, oh, the Blackhawks met with so and so. Like, that's gonna be like, oh, okay. But keep my expectations low on coaching here.
I think, yeah, it's tough with like the position that they're in, because you really just don't know like what the coaches are looking for. But obviously like the coaches want to win, but if they meet with the Hawks and they get an idea of, like, hey, like, we understand we may not be in the best position to win like as immediate as some teams, but this is a special opportunity to like really help these kids grow into the hockey players that you are looking to coach and win in the long term. But I don't know.
It's yeah, I mean, it's the same thing like how you talk about players, like, oh, this player would be perfect for the team, but it's like, hey, are they in that point where now's their time to win a Stanley Cup? Like, or are they like, okay, let's take some time and, and build something and see something through? It's the same situation with coaches. Like, and I think people kind of forget that because coaching careers can be so much longer, or are so much longer than playing careers. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's the same. It is the same concept, just different position.
What about Denny Savard?
And then have him get fired when Quenneville comes back and graces and hires in Chicago again.
That's all you got to do. It worked before. It could work again.
We will see. What's going to be interesting with whoever the Nets coach is. They're going to have to be super excited about who they're going to be coaching, and they will be adding a new prospect to that list. Because on Monday, the 5th, we will have the NHL draft lottery, and we will finally know exactly where the Hawks will be drafting. They're guaranteed top 4. So they can't go any lower than bottom 4. So they're getting a good pick. They're getting very good. They have a 13.5% chance of winning the lottery, which, please, hockey gods, don't let us win this.
Yeah.
And
not this one.
Let's be like the 10th seed and win it next year. How about that?
That's fine. I agree. That's fine.
So once we know where the Hawks will be drafted, we'll spend a couple segments on episodes going forward, kind of talking about potential prospect picks for whatever position they're going first overall. And then once we know where the Toronto pick, which we will get to in a little bit here in NHL talk, once where that Toronto pick's going to fall, we'll kind of look at who can go for that pick as well. So exciting.
I'm going to do a lottery real quick. Number 1 is, come on. It's not telling me.
Chicago?
No, it's not telling me. It just didn't do anything. That's so funny. I've been waiting for like the thing to turn, and San Jose won and the Hawks got second. There we go. It's so funny.
All right. Well, mine, Buffalo won. Boston 2nd, San Jose 3rd, Chicago 4th.
Okay. I just don't want to go to 4. Just stay at 2. That's all.
All right. Well, this isn't looking too good because back-to-back ones I've done, Hawks have dropped to 4.
That's fine. It's okay.
This time the Rangers moved up 10 spots.
I tell you what, I'll be happy with whoever we get at 4 if we get 4.
3 for 3. Hawks dropped to 4.
That's all right. You get them out now. That's what it's all about. The way that like the odds work, you just keep getting them now, and then all the odds are pushed back the other way because that's how it works, right? Probability and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
You gotta run out the world's probability of the Hawks getting 4th currently. Do it now so that when the draft lottery comes on Monday, it's like the Balls can feel it and they're like, we can't do it to the Hawks. We have to give them 2nd overall. Can you imagine the Hawks get 2nd overall and then Michael Misa still goes 1st? And we're like,
dude,
fuck.
I'd be so upset. Dude, I want Misa, man. I really like he right now is like that's the guy. That's who you take. Yeah. And then I saw like one. I mean, I know we said we're gonna talk about this later once we know where the Hawks picking, but I was reading one report and they were like NHL comparable and they said Steven Stamkos. I'm just like, oh god, give me that right there.
Yeah, I think if I know a lot of people are just like Schaefer's number 1, Schaefer's number 1, Schaefer's number 1, but I think if the Hawks are first, just go Misa.
Here's the thing.
I'm so against it though too.
The Hawks don't need to draft best available.
Yeah,
they need to draft, and I'm sticking with what I said today. Best available at the position, best available for what they need. So, and for me, that's Misa, then Higgins, and then whoever fuck else. I don't care because
Frondell,
yeah, because Martone's been kind of slipping. So we will find that out then. Other Hawks news here. We're talking to the kids on the farm in Rockford. Big first round sweep of the Chicago Wolves. Leshinov with a big OT winner in game 1. And then game 2, there's like a 2-minute clip of him just involved the entire play for the entire 2 minutes.
Everywhere.
He is down in their zone. He's in behind the net. He's like top of the point, keeping the puck in, clearing the puck out. Like, dude, it just was the perfect example of like why Hawks fans need to be excited for this kid.
Oh yeah. I think it's just so great. Just maybe don't go chasing everywhere all the time, but also it's the AHL. Do whatever you want.
Dude, he's like the 18-year-old beer leaguer that's playing in like the 60+ league. He's just like I gotta do it all myself. Let's go.
Yeah. So I got it, guys. I got it. Hold on, I'll get back. All right, I got it. All right.
Yeah. Another thing too, I saw Scott Powers tweet out that I thought was really interesting. Drew Commesso has just been on a fucking tear his last 18 games.
Yeah.
So since returning from injury in February, and this includes 2 playoff games, he's got a .940 save percentage, and has stopped 483 of 514 shots he's faced, and that includes 66 saves on 67 shots in 2 playoff games so far.
Yeah, it's gross,
dude. Commesso and Knight
he's fired up.
Bang bang.
Yeah, he's fired up. That'd be sick, dude. Just the US, good old USA boys in the back end.
Dude, fucking again, I don't know how you don't get excited about this future of this team. Like everything points to like it being good. But so Rockford will kick off their next playoff round tonight, the first, when you listen to this probably, against the Milwaukee Admirals. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on how that goes. The last thing here I have for for Hawks talk, World Championship time's coming up. So you got a couple teams starting to announce their rosters. Team USA announced Nazer and Vlasic will be on the team heading to Denmark. And then today, Sweden announced Soderblom is going to be playing for Team Sweden.
Oh, nice.
As well. That's so cool. Team Canada still hasn't announced their roster, but you got to assume Bedsy's going to be on that roster. He played last year, and I think he did pretty fucking well too.
I'm curious if we'll see any other guys from the Hawks on there too, because it's always like some random names every once in a while. Like, I don't know. I like immediately I was just thinking of like it would be pretty neat if like Del Mastro was on it or something, just like as a 6th or 7th defenseman.
Yeah, and I mean that might be one of those things too that comes because the thing with World Championship is you can add to your roster up until the championship game.
Yeah, as like teams get eliminated and stuff.
Yeah, there was who was it? Toronto when they got eliminated one year. Fucking Nylander was like out and playing for Team Sweden the next like day or two at like after they were eliminated, stuff like that. Like that's why it's like it's cool. I like that tournament for that reason. But it would be kind of cool to like just be like, okay, superstars that are like already established, guaranteed like a US or it's not a USA, but just an Olympic roster spot. Just stay home. This should be like an addition. Especially now with the Olympics coming up this next season. Let this be like an opportunity to give those guys that are trying to give themselves a name, you know? Like we already know what some of these guys can do. Yeah. You don't need to go out there to prove anything. But it's playing hockey for your country, so I get it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fun. Yeah. Have a good time.
Yeah. Do you got anything else for Hot Stock?
I don't think so. No.
All right, we're gonna try a new segment here. We're gonna do buy or sell. So basically, you're either gonna buy something that you really like, and I mean you could go even outside of hockey. I mean, if you're really feeling something that in the world in your life in general, you want to buy or sell it, feel free, man. You know, go for it. But so either buy something you like, you sell something you hate. I think you have a couple options, so I'll let you go first.
I do. Oh shit. Sell Hellebuck for the Hart because he can't fucking win a playoff game. It should include playoffs sometimes. At least the first round. If that helps determine some like tight like trophy races, especially since you get a bump in your like nomination for a trophy if you make the playoffs. Like if Columbus made the playoffs, Werenski would be a much higher Norris Trophy candidate. I know he's a nominee, but he would probably be like, oh shit, like probably because of him.
The guy.
But like if then you make the playoffs and now that you're there, that's the bump and you fucking just get shit in the playoffs, get back down. Get back down. That's what it should be. Like, because you don't like Hellebuck doesn't get pulled the entire season and then he gets pulled back-to-back games in St. Louis.
Dude, he's got like what is like an 814 save percentage or something like that.
I don't know.
Like
I honestly haven't even looked at it because it's just like piss.
I think it's like something like really bad. Like I know it's sub 9. It's just like
817. He's got a 4.24 goals against average.
Jesus.
82 shots against and 15 goals given up. Come on. It's crazy too because even if people are like, oh, like there's deflections and like he's been screened, he's 6'4". He takes up so much net. Like it's like at this point you're trying to avoid the puck.
Right?
That's so crazy. I don't know.
I'll buy. And it's more of just a feel good, hey, good for you guy. I'm buying Taylor Hall. I mean,
yeah,
dude gets his contract extension he's been looking for. You know, he's gonna have, but you say that now that he's gonna go and get traded next season at some point, but he gets an extension, so he gets to stay at a place for potentially 3 years, at least right now, on paper. Like he's not going into the offseason, like where am I going? He's moving on to the second round of the playoffs for his first time, or for the second time in his career. Yeah. Third, if you want to count the qualifying round and the bubble year.
No, that doesn't count.
Okay, fair. And he's not playing bad, man. He's in 5 games, he's got 3 points. Like he's being a factor out there for his role.
That's against the Devils.
For his role, I'm saying, against the Devils, which I guess that could be a sell for me. Fucking frauds. I mean, that's an all-time sell. Everybody knows that. I'm going to say that anyways. But I'm just happy for the guy, man. I really hope Carolina's able.
Are the Devils the Vancouver of the East?
We will get to that here in a second, but yeah.
There's a lot of similarities there. That's all I'm saying.
Good for Taylor Hall. I'm happy for him, and it'd be really cool to see if he can make it to the conference finals and go where no Taylor Hall has gone before.
The 3rd round.
Yeah. So, all right, let's take a look here at the playoffs and just kind of do a little recap of what's going on right now.
Oh, okay. I thought we were still buying and selling shit, but all right.
Oh, you want to do more? Yeah, something else?
Sell Edmonton goalies as well. I'm selling all the goalies, dude. Like, it's so bad. Except for, yeah. I mean,
it's almost as if goalies
no.
Are
Freddie Anderson was playing insanely well, and then of course he gets hurt. I'm also selling fucking just the shitty hits in the playoffs that are fucking knocking guys out. Like Aaron Ekblad's fucking elbow to fucking Hagel's head.
I still don't think that one is bad.
I think that I
don't think it was 2 game. I don't think it's a 2-game suspension bad.
I wonder if part of it's like making up for the fact that he shouldn't have been in the rest of the game and he fucking scored the game tying goal.
But then you're questioning like.
And also they went soft on Tkachuk after giving Hagel a fucking suspension for 1 game.
Okay, the difference between Tkachuk and Hagel. I know you're so anti-Florida right now, and it's so funny. But here's the difference between the Hagel and Tkachuk hit. Barkov did not have the puck at all. Wasn't playing the puck. Wasn't
the puck
going
was
for it.
Right by him. It literally looked like he could have played
it was behind him. He wasn't making the play for the puck. He wasn't
fucking head up.
Touching the puck. Okay, Hagel, keep your fucking head up.
Hagel did keep his head up. That's why he got hit in the fucking head.
The Tkachuk one on Gensel. It was a late hit.
It was a late hit, but he was also admiring the shit out of that pass.
Right. Like that one, I was like, okay, if you're going to tell me which one is suspendable or should be suspended, it was the Hagel one for sure. And I love Hagel, and I'm a pro Hagel guy.
Yeah.
But that was a bad hit on Barkov.
Hey.
Bad hit in terms of it shouldn't have happened. Great hit in terms of like, holy fuck, he blew him up.
Yeah.
But I also, as much as I love Hagel, I don't know. I think that's old time hockey. That Ekblad hit. Did you see the clip of? Did you see the clip though of Messier talking shit about that hit and like saying it needs to be like, they can't be doing that kind of stuff. And then they're like, yeah, well, let's play the hit one more time. And then they show replay of Messier doing that exact hit like 30 times throughout his career. They were just showing replays of Messier hitting like that. And it was funny. Was like. He still didn't back down. He's just like, yeah, no, that's how we played the game back then. That's how
it was legal back then.
Yeah,
I think smoking darts between periods and pounding beers every night, and then they're just hitting each other in the head.
I think 2 games is a stretch. I think if you're gonna give anything, I would give him a game.
I think it's just like an overpay, or you know what? It also is probably more of like a deterrent to keep other players from trying to, it's like, okay, like we fucking mean it and like knock it off kind of shit. So
yeah,
who knows?
So, all right, let's do a little playoff update here. We'll start in the East and we'll start with the series.
I'm buying Alex Ovechkin. I'm buying Alex Ovechkin in the playoffs this year. All right,
we'll get to him in a second.
That's it.
So we'll talk about Carolina, New Jersey here first. Carolina knocks out the New Jersey Frauds in Game 5. New Jersey came out strong, up 3-0 the first 10 minutes, and by halfway through the second, it was 4-4. And then it goes to 2 overtimes, and Sebastian Aho gets the game. Right? It was Aho, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, got the game winner, and the Devils go home with their dicks in their hands and nothing to show for it. So when is people going to just stop even having the conversation about the New Jersey Devils being a legitimate contender for the Stanley Cup?
Never. I feel like you just hate them so much.
Dude, because it just doesn't make sense. Like it's the team that every single year they
are the NHL's sweetheart.
So they need to win, and then they're going to be Florida Panthers for you. You're going to hate them too, like I did.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I don't care about the Devils at all.
But no, it's just one of those things. Like I'm playing, I'm unbiased. Okay. Devil's advocate. Oh yeah, you're advocating for the Devils.
That's what I'm saying. That's not what I meant. It's an actual saying.
Yeah. But no, it's like the thing with the Devils and why it just annoys me so much is like every year you hear the same old thing. They're just this piece away. Okay, we got this piece. Now's our time, and then they fall flat.
Jack Hughes was hurt.
Okay. And then last year, Doug Hamilton was hurt. They had Jack Hughes. Oh, but we don't have a goalie. Oh, but it's like, dude, if you're a serious, legitimate contender, and like you should be able to overcome that. At least make more of a series than 4-1. They had 1,000%.
You're missing your best player, and you're playing a team that's extremely good and solid.
So why is it that you're missing your best player, and all of a sudden you're a dog shit team?
I mean,
one player. But I'm just saying though, but they looked like they shouldn't have,
and they weren't even a wild card team.
Right.
Their division was terrible though.
Right. That's what I'm saying though. It's like you want to be taken seriously as a legitimate contender for the Stanley Cup, and you talk about how we just need this piece. You need this piece, and we got it. Seriously. And then your team just completely falls flat because Jack Hughes is out. Like, yes, I know Jack Hughes is their star. There's their guy, but you can't win the Stanley Cup with one fucking guy.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like Markstrom played well up until like the last game. I feel like there's like he did his part. I feel like they did get their goaltending, but it's just like it's like the excuse, like, oh well, so and so was hurt, so and so was hurt. So like it's just every year. It's like, dude,
oh yeah,
build a team correctly and fucking do this and to be taken seriously until you don't falter because you lose one player. I don't care the skill level of the player and how important it is to the team. You're never going to be a true competitor for the Stanley Cup if you fail this miserably, losing one player.
Yeah, it's true.
Just that's my whole thing with them. Like it's so annoying.
It's just be better. That's what we used to say. What we said to Tampa years ago. Be better, and then they won 2 cups in a row.
Yeah, and it's what we say to Toronto. They just don't get the advice. So, but yeah. Other than that, Carolina looking solid. Freddie Anderson.
Jesus.
Holy shit. It's scary there.
Yeah. What the hell?
But Carolina's looking good. It'll be interesting. I mean, thank God they have some time now to let Freddie Anderson heal up. And
did they say what kind of how bad his injury was?
To be fair, I didn't really look into it because it's Freddie being Freddie to me.
Yeah, I know he's always out. It just said that he wouldn't suit up for Game 5. And that his estimated return right now is May 5th because it's day-to-day undisclosed injury.
Okay, so, I mean, they're probably not going to play until... I
can't remember if the NHL started doing that thing where, like, if a series is ready to go, they just go, or they... Oh, yeah, because they don't reseed. So, like, I don't know.
They could. I don't know if they do it, though. But
I don't. I hate when they do that. When it's like first round games are still happening and like second round games have started.
NBA does that.
Yeah, which it's just like so weird.
But well, we just found out too who Carolina will be playing in the next round. The Washington Capitals eliminate the Montreal Canadiens 4-1. Oh, look at you! We're ready to go. You bandwagon.
Yeah, buddy. I'm joining the Cavs bandwagon because I fucking do not care about any other team in the playoffs.
True or false? This is one of the more entertaining 4-1 playoff series in recent memory.
Yeah. Like it was a brutal one. I mean, Tampa and Florida could literally be the same thing though. 4-1.
But that's
5-3. It's 5-3 Florida right now.
Oh, so wait, is Florida?
Florida's up 3-1.
Oh, so this is it? If Florida wins, oh
yeah.
Shit, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's except for Toronto. Yeah, Toronto fucked it up, but all the Eastern Conference games could have ended in 5, and then
and all the West was 7. All the West was tied 2-2 at one point.
Yeah,
but anyway, Washington, Montreal, what?
It's just the thought of, I mean, because it will have happened at this point when this goes live, but if Florida wins,
John Cooper could be fired.
I mean, mutually part ways.
John Cooper, Chicago Blackhawks head coach by Friday.
Yeah, dude, fucking
Tanner guarantee.
Boom.
Mark it.
Just slide the check under his door just as soon as the game's over. Like, he doesn't even go to the locker room to meet with the team. He just takes that hat off, puts on the Hawks hat. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. But yeah, the Washington-Montreal series was just I think it was last Friday, was the whole bench melee, Tom Wilson crying at
Slafkovsky,
and then him and Anderson just going at it. Like, oh God, dude. I love when teams hate each other in the playoffs. It's just the fucking best.
Oh, it's so good. And like, I didn't know they had any reason to hate each other. And then it was just like, oh, like you would think that these guys were rivals for a long time.
Right.
I think it's just the mix of players that they had. You know, like Brendan Gallagher and Josh Anderson are the same type of player as like a Tom Wilson. And it's like, we're going to fucking do what we can to get under your skin and hit you every single time.
Dude, I still love that. Like, every time I see Gallagher on screen, he's either falling, getting hit, or throwing his hands up. And the very first time I turned this series on was when he was getting cross-checked in the face. I'm just like, this dude has just got a magnet for
the classic Gallagher experience.
Let's go to Toronto, because maybe by the time we finish talking Toronto, the Florida game will be done.
Sure,
you can lock that down. But Toronto doing Toronto things.
Exactly what we thought was going to happen.
Up 3-0 in the series, has an opportunity to close it out, lose, go. So they now are after lose game 4. So they're now 1-12 at that point in opportunities to win in a clinching series game in the new era, the core era for Toronto Maple Leafs hockey. Then they get the opportunity to do it again. Game 5. What do? Shut out 4-0.
My favorite is it was this stat that was put on Twitter, the Canes stat brand at Canes Stats or whatever. Who cares? Aho has 10 goals in 14 series clinching games. Pretty goddamn good. The core 4 in Toronto has a combined 11 goals in 51 series clinching games. And they say 51 as in like everybody had like 10 to 14. Because Matthews has 13 games played, 4 goals. Marner, 14 games played, 0 goals. Nylander, 14 games played, 2 goals. And Tavares, which is a little bit more respectable, 10 games, 5 goals. But they have a combined 1 more goal than Aho does in a lot more like opportunity.
They are so bad. It is so funny. Like, they're so good, but so bad at the same time.
It's like somebody turns them off. And like, I don't know what it is. It's just so weird. Like, they don't expect teams to play harder as the series goes on. Like, it's fucking strange, man.
I like the text this morning talking about Toronto, and like, they got to play like it's game 7 every game. And then it's like, well, maybe not. That might not be the move for Toronto.
maybe like game 1, game 2.
But I mean, if they drop game 6, like, I mean, Yeah. What even what do you even do at that point if you're Toronto fans? Like, do you just have the suicide hotline on speed dial ready to go the entire game 7?
I would say you plan a different event for game 7 to not pay attention and go have some sort of fun. You already know what's going to happen. You already know it's going to go to overtime and it's going to be a depressing night.
They're going to be up 3-0 and lose 4-3 in game 7 in overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, God, man. It's like, I want Toronto to win. I want Toronto to be good. But I'm now at the point where I think it's better for NHL if Toronto loses in just embarrassing fashion every first round.
Well, this is one of the things that was kind of fighting with mentally was like, I know that they're going to do Toronto things. It's going to be first round exit. But what I need them to do is actually very well. And I need Mitch Marner in particular to do very well. Because at that point, you have so much pressure in Toronto to be like, well, we did so much better this offseason, and it's all thanks to Marner. Like, we got to sign him. I guess that means that we have no cap space for Matty Nyes. And then the Hawks are just like,
offer sheet.
What's up? Yeah, offer sheet, or just like, we'll make a trade. We'll make something work.
No, fuck that. Fucking offer sheet the shit out of them. I don't care.
I would just rather not give them picks.
Why? Because then we're going to be good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, it's not like they're going to be first overall picks or anything like that.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, you offer sheet Matty Nyes, and then you go, hey, Brock, Mr. Besser. See the moves that we're making here?
Your top 6 includes Nazar, Bedard, Knives, Brock, Misa. I mean, that's 5 of 6 right there. So, I mean, God damn.
Yeah.
Pencils in the cup final for like 12 years straight.
Yeah, man. That'd be sick.
So, I mean, so game 6 is what, tonight, aka Thursday?
Yeah.
Let's see real quick.
Brady Tkachuk's got 6 points in 5 games. Big points.
Yeah. This is okay. I'm calling it for this other series. Tampa Bay is going to be losing
6-3. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
Tampa,
anything could happen.
It's 3 doable. Minutes left. So if you're listening to this and Tampa ends up coming back in the next 3 minutes and 11 seconds, hand up. I admit I just overjumped the gun there. But so Florida's gonna move on. My brackets are busted because fucking Tanner is so convincing in his argument, you dick.
Yeah, it's not my fault that Tampa couldn't beat a team that sucked towards the end of the year.
Seth Jones moving on. He wanted some playoff success, and he's got 1 round under his belt.
I mean, he's moving to the second round for what, the second time?
Yeah.
That's it. It's him and Taylor Hall. What if they meet each other in the Eastern Conference final?
Dude, that would be awesome. That would be great, actually.
Well, it's either them meeting in the conference final, or I guess like there's still a possibility of like Toronto or Ottawa, but I doubt it. Or it could be like Seth Jones versus like Taylor Radish and Dylan Strome in the conference final. It's like a bunch of
I honestly think, I don't want this to be the case, but I just think this is going to be the case. Much as I was saying, the Colorado Dallas series, the winner of that was going to go to the final in the West. I think the winner of the Florida Tampa series was going to be the one that goes to the final in the East.
I can see it. Florida gets away with too much bullshit in the playoffs.
All right, moving on to the West.
That's why I can't wait for Tom Wilson to fucking show up. Dude, that's gonna if that gets to be like the Eastern Conference final, Washington versus Florida, that's gonna be monstrous.
Oh yeah. All right, let's run through these here. Winnipeg, St. Louis, Winnipeg, aka Toronto West.
Yep.
What what they say? You don't lose a playoff series until you lose at home, and neither team has lost at home yet. Winnipeg went up.
Depending on tonight, who knows?
Yeah, depending on what happens. So going into this right now, Winnipeg's up 2-1, at home. So
plenty of hockey left though, because there's only 10 minutes through the first.
Yeah, lots of hockey left. But yeah, fucking Winnipeg needs to just wake up. They're a much better team than what they're playing like. And Hellebuck is a much better goaltender than what he's playing like. And
no. This is playoff Hellebuck, bud. This is playoff Hellebuck that we're talking about. It's a different goalie than regular season Hellebuck.
Yeah, regular season Hellebuck needs to find his way to the rink, and
that's
and
why
show up.
That's why it's literally Toronto West. It's the same thing. Like they show up, they're showing up in the regular season to get trophies, possibly like individual awards, and then when the time matters, I forgot how to play hockey.
Yeah, I just don't want fucking St. Louis moving on.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the only thing, and I fucking hate that Bennington's got his like little swagger back after Four Nations and all that. He's been playing pretty decent.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. The other team in the Central like divisional playoffs is the Dallas and Colorado. Dallas is up 3-2 in this one. I wish we could have had an opportunity to offer sheet Wyatt Johnson.
Yep.
Dude, kid's so good. The guys, they finally showed up to play for Dallas in Game 5. Wyatt Johnson gets on the board. Mikko Rantanen gets on the board. You got McKinnon yelling at Coyle on the bench. You got Landeskog crying about how the refs are in preseason form with some of their calls, all that kind of stuff. It's just, man, Colorado, the wheels are falling off. And any opportunity, like this is honestly, they're set up perfectly. This Dallas Colorado series is set up perfectly for a trip to the final.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the most impressive thing about this series is that Dallas is doing this without Robertson and Heiskanen, which just shows you how deep this team really is. And it's just crazy, like thinking about how like their big stars are, Wyatt Johnston, Ryan, and Heiskanen and Robertson, but like the stars that they've had before that are still on the team, or Rupe Hintz too, are like Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, Matt Duchene's playing great for them. I completely forget all the time that they got Mikko Rantanen. They went out and got Mikhail Granlund, who's just been playing really good hockey the past couple of years.
Yeah.
They they went and got Lyubushkin. Thomas Harley's just becoming like one of the better defensemen in the entire NHL. They have one of the best goalies in the league. The team is just stacked. And so like them missing their best defenseman and their best forward, unlike the Devils, they know how to win games still.
Yeah.
100%. And that's how that's a really good fucking team.
And that's the difference right there. Yeah, exactly. That is the difference. Like an injury doesn't derail this team. It's next man up. Yeah. We got the talent. We got the power. Let's just fucking go. So I'm still sticking with my Dallas Stars pick, and whoever wins the series is winning the Stanley Cup, I think. But great entertaining hockey. Another series that was surprisingly like one of the better series to me was the Vegas Minnesota series. I mean, Minnesota was just playing fucking fantastic hockey. Kaprizov and Boldy combo just putting fucking Vegas in a goddamn blender. Yep. Eichel, Stone not showing up until it was like Game 4. I think they finally got their first points of the series.
Dude, Jack Eichel's a -6 in the series right now. That's kind of crazy.
Dude, if Vegas is able to close this out, I mean, they got to be like, oh, thank fucking God. Like, and they're going to have to fucking figure it out because the Wild, good on them, man. I know we call them mild and all that kind of boring hockey and all that, but it's like, good on them. Like they are showing that they can go, and it's going to be a scary team, especially now that they're going to get their cap relief with Parise and Suter buyouts coming off the books here soon. And they're going to be able to add to this team. Dude, the Central is going to be a fucking problem.
Yeah,
for the next few years.
Yeah, they're freeing up almost 15 million.
Yeah.
It's going down to like just under 2 million in the buyouts. That's crazy.
Yeah. So They got game 6 on Thursday, so we'll see what happens there. And then the last series in the West that's going on right now, the Kings and Oilers, and it finally felt like it was the Kings' year. They finally figured out, Big Brother, no more getting stomped on and bullied by the older brother. And then all of a sudden, fucking Oilers turn it up or win 3 in a row. Kings' problem is they can't finish. They outplay the Oilers in the first 2 periods, outshoot them, outscore them, and then for whatever reason, the third period they're like, "All right, see what you guys can do. See if you guys can catch up to us and take the lead." And Edmonton's like, "Okay, we got McDavid, we got Draisaitl. Say less." And now Oilers have a 3-2 series lead.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, why doesn't Edmonton just play the whole game like it's the last 10 minutes of the third? Like, you would assume that they would score like 13 goals in the game.
It's like, why can't the Kings play the whole game like it's the first 2 periods?
Yeah.
It's like Jesus, man. But I don't know. I think
this is hilarious, dude. So Edmonton, their whole forward group, it's 2 points, 3 points, 1, 1, 2, 10, 2, 3, 3, 10, 3, 1. Do you know who the two 10s are?
Hyman and Skinner.
Probably. Dude, it's just, that's so crazy. Like, with all the goals that they've been scoring, 5 goals in the first game, 2, and then 7 and 4 and 3. It's like no one else on the forward core has more than 3 points, and then it jumps to 10 for Draisaitl and McDavid.
It's so stupid, man.
They're so good. They're so good. Evan Bouchard, another good postseason for him. 4 goals, 3 assists.
He's going to get that Bickle contract, man.
Yeah.
Just absolutely plays well in the playoffs, and then he's going to get paid. But, yeah, I mean, everything I said about the Devils, like, only one player, is your whole team. Throw it out the window with Edmonton because, I mean, when you have the 2 of the best players in the world, like, you can get away with that excuse.
Yeah.
So, game 6 for them will be on Thursday as well. So, a lot of second round is going to be determined by the time we record next.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think Sunday is the last possible day for the first round.
Maybe. So, I feel it will, because if it does go 7 for some series, isn't it like 2 days off between game 6 and game 7?
Toronto game 7 would be Saturday. And the whole West or East is done.
Well, what about like
St. Louis, Winnipeg would be Sunday.
Okay. Yeah.
Dallas and Colorado would be Saturday. Vegas, Minnesota would be Saturday. And then, so there's only one series.
May 3rd's the last day for all of them.
So Winnipeg and St. Louis would be the only series playing on Sunday if the rest of the series goes 7.
Yeah. Yes.
So you got to imagine probably Carolina, Washington are going to play Monday.
Oh, honestly, while we're still recording, it's actually if the Panthers and Lightning go 7, except for now it says Florida won 4-1. So I don't know why they didn't. It must have just updated as I did that. That's so funny. Yeah. All right, John Cooper, come on down.
John Cooper, you are a Blackhawk, and that is a Tanner Houston guarantee.
That's the name of the episode.
What?
John Cooper, come on down.
John Cooper, come on down. Okay.
Come on up. Yeah.
All right. Well, episode 317, we'll end it there. John Cooper, come on down. Yeah. Make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the big 2. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, social media at WCBPodcast. And thank you all for 8 years of listening to us ramble and talk hockey. It's been a blast. And hopefully one of these years we'll get to talk about Blackhawks hockey because the Blackhawks have not been a legitimate playoff hockey since the start of the show. So take that for what you will. So we apologize if that's our fault. So
no. It's not our fault.
It's
never our fault.
Stan Bowman's fault, dude.
Hell yeah. There we go. So, all right, we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
I really don't like how you guys gang up on me all the time.
Well, it's easy to do when you act like the way that you do.
You walk in. What? You set yourself up a lot of the time. You really do.
Oh my God!
Like with that socks hat. Come on.
I made a legitimate. What do you mean? I made a legitimate point about God. Fuck! I'm not good at arguing. Also, I'm very bad at it. Every time.
You did have a couple of stutters in that.
Yeah, I'm terrible at arguments. Real bad. So I shouldn't be a lawyer.
I'm glad you know that.
Yeah, no, shouldn't be a lawyer. I shouldn't be in a relationship. I'll lose all the arguments, and then.
Well, I mean, maybe that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes a relationship last.
Yeah, but then I'm not wearing the pants anymore. But,
it's fine. You wear women's pants anyway.
Okay, hang on.
Can't believe we had to end this episode twice early.
Hey Tanner, we still have the old intro without you in there, so.
Yes. I think where this podcast is going. Let's move on to NHL talk before this goes anywhere.
Oh, Tanner's so rattled right now.
I got nothing to say about that. Fuck. Cut me deep a little bit.
Dave, I gotta thank you for that goal, by the way. Back then I had accidentally forgotten what day it was. I kind of mixed my days up, and I actually went on a Tinder date during the Cup final of Game 6, and everything was going crazy. And then you won the game, and just helped me seal the deal that night. It was absolutely fantastic. So I gotta thank you for that one.
So you got a goal and an assist on that
Congratulations.
one.
Is that when did you lose your virginity?
No, yeah. I mean before then, but
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, that's why you're not in charge of this thing.
Yeah, because it's dumb.
what are you talking about? Tommy Hawk can win it again next year. It's not like
he's also in the Mascot Hall of Fame. What? How do you get into that? How do you not get into that? How bad of a mascot are you to not get in the Mascot Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Maybe you are a mascot at a high school. You ever think of that face?
You think Bobby Moe is going to get in?
No, I don't give a shit about that. I'm talking about professional. They're the best of the best, That's how that goes.
Well, they're not mascot of the year quite like Tommy Hawk.
Bam.
It was just so funny because Tanner does that. He did it for Bauer. It was like a Bauer promo video. So he does it. We all see it. It came out and we all see it and we're like, what? I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, dude, they had to have sped this up. I'm like, did they? And he's like, honestly, I kind of thought the same thing, but they told me they did not speed this up. He's like, I don't think it's sped up. He's like, they could have been lying, but I don't think it was. I'm like, well, that's a little fucked. I don't think I've ever seen
Then you got Logan Couture, who's Tanner's basically 30 for 30 guy.
Basically 30 for 30, As long as it averages out to 60 points, they're 30 for 30.
Hey, Joe Pavelski, 30 for 30, 20 goals, 40 assists. Those equal out. 30 for 30.
There you go.
Hey, Ben Burns, 30 for 30 guy, 12 goals, 56 assists.
Hey, that one's more like a 2060 guy.
Shut up. It only works when they're closer to 30 every each stat.
My question is did they get swept because they didn't use the Storm shirts in the first two rounds?
Yes, absolutely.
Is that the only
100%? That's it. That's the only reason.
I think once they saw Don Cherry rocking the Bruins tuxedo, they were like, fuck. That was all of it.
He's
that
such
was
a piece of shit.
I
got the bunch of birds out there. I used to coach them with my dog, and those bunch of jerks.
Holy
oh my god,
shit.
that's so good.